Hi everyone, my name is Michael Tabaradi of michaeltabaradi.com, and in today's video I want to talk about Instagram and why I don't think you need to be focusing completely on Instagram. Now, the reason I'm saying this is because everyone knows that Instagram is one of the most engaging platforms out there. And it's really important because for a lot of people, they've been able to generate a buzz, some sort of business, and there's some like energy around sort of like their brand and what they're trying to do. And I think that's really important because Instagram is a great way to get yourself out there and is a form of validation, so to speak. But just like with Facebook, and obviously Instagram is owned by Facebook, it's a great way to get a dopamine release, but then leave feeling very depressed. Okay. Now, I'm not saying this to say get off Instagram because I'm on Instagram, but you need to think about long term. What does it mean for your business? Okay. Like at the end of the day, Instagram is the distribution stream in order for people to really get to know, like, and trust you, so to speak. But do those people actually convert into clients or customers? And if they don't, that's fine. Maybe you just want to use that as a way to sort of get other people to see what you're about and stuff. It's not always about, getting clients and customers and stuff. It may genuinely be based on the fact that you like sort of producing this sort of content online, and maybe you want to be seen as a certain person, but really and truly it's a for many people it's an ego thing. People think it's the right thing to do, like, let me go on Instagram and be insta famous. I think those days are sort of like dying for many people, unfortunately. That's the raw truth, at the end of the day. And you need to think to yourself, like, what is it that I'm aiming to do? I would never like leave out any sort of platform, but I would say, what do you need to be focusing on? And it's my core belief that you need to be focusing on, you definitely need to be focusing on your website. Are you going to be delivering rich content that people can actually find? Are you going to be, boosting that or advertising that using Facebook or maybe even Instagram if you're going to use it for that? Okay, because you can use your likes and engagement as a way to retarget people for your ad, so it's useful for that. But is that a strategy you're going to use? Or, are you going to be focusing on building your email list? And can Instagram do that for you? And are there other ways that can be done? Are you also going to be focusing on, developing videos on YouTube? Because again, it's a well-known fact that YouTube, although it's not social media, but sometimes it's put in that category, it's one of the most positive platforms that you can have out there compared to the Facebooks and the Instagrams of the world. I think those are more important because at the end of the day, people go to YouTube to learn, to get educated, to understand. And a lot of them have buyer intent as well because they're at that point where they just want to get stuff solved. People, actually open emails because they want to learn something new, or they actually want to get their problem solved by buying something. I don't know. Like, people use email different, but it's the best way to convert and get, the sort of sales that you need to get for your product, service, or whatever it is that you're aiming to sell. But also your website is under your control. You haven't got like all these different platforms saying you can't do this anymore because this law has happened, or we don't believe in this, or X, Y, and Z. It's for you to own. It's for you to just basically take dominion over your content and provide the best value that you can. Hence why I say Instagram's not everything. Now, it is very great because it generates a lot of business, okay? If you actually DM people the right way, not just sliding into people's DMs, yeah? Okay? Being all sleazy and cringe and stuff, like, and not just doing automated sort of like DMs and stuff. Like, you're actually having a conversation with people, even though I know it's virtual, but you're having a conversation with someone and getting into their minds, their understanding of the language and all that kind of stuff. If you're having that one-to-one, that's fine. But I guess what I'm saying is, like, there needs to be some sort of sustainability plan. I guess Instagram can give you that, but it's very short term because of the type of people that's being developed on it. And that's happening with most platforms. Usually what happens is people come in, they sort of like take opportunity. You get the stars that pop up. They understand how the platform works. Then you get the rest of the people who just jump on board. That's when it gets a bit, I don't really want to be on this anymore. So I think you need to think about it. If Instagram's big for your business, then stay on Instagram. And I said that specifically in the way I did because at the end of the day, it's about business. Like, if you're saying you have a business, you should be able to portray that in the right way, not just have a passion project or just a brand. And again, those things are not like bad, but at the same time, just be honest with yourself. So if it's good for your business, then keep on doing it. Look at your return on investment and see whether Instagram has been very crucial. If not, then you need to think about, how do you make it crucial? Am I converting, my community or the people that are following me onto my email list, and then sort of following up that way through a consultation or product or service? Am I doing it a different way? Am I using Instagram to, teach people new stuff, or get people to see my journey, or understand something that I haven't understood before? Like, what am I doing on Instagram? Because if you're just on Instagram because you think it's the right thing to do, just get off it. I just wanted to say that. Just get off it. Like, why waste your time? At the end of the day, all I can say to you is just think about the things that require you to get the results that you need to get. And if Instagram's not that thing, don't use Instagram. Think about what your audience needs. Think about what you're comfortable using. Think about what actually converts. Actually understand the market for your industry and see how people are actually getting the results they need to get. Okay? Because what I'm realizing is that a lot of people who are doing well in this whole sort of space, they don't necessarily, and I'm not including Gary Vee here, okay? And I'm not going to say he's a special case, because at the end of the day, he's done what he's done by working very hard, very strategically, and understanding that he needs to sort of position himself as a personal brand, because once people buy into you, then they're more likely to listen to what you're saying, not necessarily take action, because that's been proven. He's given a lot of stuff away for free, all that kind of stuff. I'm not trying to be rude. I like Gary Vee. He's a great guy. Do you know what I mean? I've learned a lot from him. I guess what I'm saying is that you can't, like, if you're going to go in on Instagram, go in, but with a purpose, because he's building that to attract another market as well. Does that make sense? He's in the B2B space, and you could argue to some degree he's in a B2C space for those people who really sort of want to pay 10 grand to have a consultation with him or whatever it is. The point being made is that have a strategy behind what you're doing, and don't just jump on stuff just for jumping on its sake. If you want to be a Gary Vee, then follow what he does. Like he says, move like he moves. But if you don't want to be a Gary Vee, then move how other people have moved in your space, and think about what it is that you need to do. Okay. Yes, be on as many platforms as you can, but have purpose behind them. Are they just for distribution? Are they for real content? Where's your actual content being hosted? How are you converting people into actual like, what are you doing? Okay, because if you're just posting for posting's sake and hoping your thing will grow with no strategy, you're going to get disappointed. And I don't want more people depressed on Instagram, because I'm hearing too many people get depressed on it. Think about alternative means, man. Like, Instagram's not the only thing out there. There are so many things you can use. If your niche or audience is focused around ladies, Pinterest is, like, I keep on talking about Pinterest, maybe not enough on here, but in my circle, to my clients and all this kind of stuff, like, Pinterest is big if done the right way. And I wish I capitalized earlier, because I was big on Pinterest before, just out of curiosity. I kind of stopped because everyone's like, go on Instagram, da da da. And I come back and I get 8,000 unique views on my Pinterest, and I don't even use it, every single month. So Pinterest has a lot of power, and its purchasing power is increasing because a lot of people are starting to invest more into Pinterest and all that kind of stuff. They got a valuation the other day, which is great. There's also LinkedIn. A lot of people talking about LinkedIn, and LinkedIn's been there for a while, and the algorithm's really fresh for it right now, for the right sort of content tailored towards the right sort of audience. So you need to understand how that works. There are other things like, dare I say it, Tumblr. People still use Tumblr, and people are still banging it on Tumblr for specific niches and specific types of people. There is Reddit as well. There's Twitter. For those of you who are within that Twitter community, you understand how Twitter works. So again, you can use all of them. You can use some of them. You can use one of them, but don't just focus on Instagram. That's my point. And I'll stand by the fact that it's very important to make sure you have your website and your email on lock. And if you can, add a podcast and YouTube to that as well. So yeah, that's my video. That's my little rant. Hopefully you can see why I'm saying this, and I'm not just saying it for saying its sake. Don't forget to subscribe if you liked what I said. Don't forget to give it a thumbs up and share it with those people who you think need to listen to this as well, because I'm telling you, man, there are some damaged thumbs out there right now. And unfortunately, it's not because they're pressing the like button on this video. Anyway, take care, God bless, understand, reach, and expand. Peace.